Hey, what's up? My name's Tony Deaton, and I want to just show y'all it's just some random clips with what I do. Drive commercial vehicles, and I thought it'd be interesting to have some footage about things that commercial drivers go through on the highway and just different aspects of my job. And if you guys like it, just leave me a comment below and let me know what your thoughts are on it. And if I get any good feedback, I'll try to put some more content out there. But anyway, hope you enjoy it. Give me a like and a subscribe, and we'll see what happens from there. Y'all be blessed. What's going on? So I stopped in here at the QT, one of my favorite stops, I guess you could say. I usually pull in here, grab me a drink and a little something to munch on, and typical stuff in the life of a logistics person, I reckon. When you're in truck driver. Pull out of here. I'm just gonna get some random footage. Gotta love a roundabout. Works great when there ain't no traffic in it. Alright, here we go. On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. Get her done. Up to speed. See you later. Alright, so just to give you some information, I drive a 10-wheel tanker commercial vehicle. I'm in the oil distribution business. We deliver motor oil to quick lubes, car dealerships, that kind of stuff. I can't tell y'all who I work for or show any of the procedures and things like that on YouTube because it's against company policy. But I want to show y'all how we have to approach the way stations. Right now I'm just south of Charlotte, North Carolina on Interstate 85, and fortunately for me right now, I come through here very early in the morning, and this particular way station has a really nice feature. All the trucks have to be in the right lane right here about a mile before you approach the way station. I don't know if y'all can see it, but right there's a little scanner, and there's a mini scale in the road that tells us whether we're going to have to go in, and right there it's telling me to bypass the way station because I'm not really heavy today, so I don't have to go in there, which suits me fine because I just soon keep right on rolling. That's the typical just FYI, I want to throw out some information. If you watch this channel, I hopefully can give some insight on some of the things that we have to do out here as truck drivers, commercial, that the typical person that's out here driving a car may not know, even though there's signs all over the interstate that give us tons of information if we'll read them. But this one up here, just past this blue sign right here, is the one that I want to point out right now. And what it says is, no trucks 3 axles or more in the left lane. And as a general rule, right now we've got 3 lanes going south, 3 lanes going north. As a general rule, if there are more than 2 lanes in either direction, typically commercial vehicles are restricted to the right 2 lanes, which, in my opinion, is a bogus law. I don't understand. I've been told by enforcement over the years that the reason that they do that is because it's difficult if traffic slows down and there's a high volume, that it's hard for the trucks to get back up to speed, which causes, can potentially cause huge delays, which I understand that. And really, right through here, you have to kind of know the areas that you drive in, and be familiar with what law enforcement enforces and what they don't enforce. Now, I can tell you from experience, once we cross into South Carolina, there's 4 different types of law enforcement that work the highways down there. You got DOT, you got county, you got city, and you got state. And the state patrol is different from the DOT enforcement down there. So there's 4 different entities in South Carolina that you potentially have to deal with as commercial drivers, which I think they can pretty much address anything any of those enforcement personnel can attend to anything that happens on the highway. I think they all, but as a general rule, obviously the DOT enforcement pretty much deal with trucks, and they've been hot to trot lately. They've been working strong every day when I go through. I work this area quite a bit, Spartanburg, South Carolina, Greenville, and all the suburban areas. But just to try to give some information on, the things that we have. If you wonder why the trucks, for example, let's just say if I come up on somebody that's running slow in this middle lane, and I might be on them kind of strong, which I try not to do. I try to leave myself plenty of cushion. But sometimes cars will fall into your cushion, thinking it's just an open spot, and by all intents and purposes, I guess it is. But just so people are aware, truck drivers typically, not all of them, but typically, because of the weight that we have to carry down the highway, we like to, or should, give ourselves plenty of cushion between us and the vehicle in front of us. And the reason for that is, obviously, it's physics. If I hit the brakes and I weigh 65,000 pounds, it's going to take me 3-4 times longer to get stopped than you can stop in a car. So, a lot of times when you see a truck in this middle lane that may be on, you know, on a car too close, we can't get in that left lane to go around you. And sometimes I think people are trying to figure out, well, why don't he just go around? Well, it's illegal for one thing, but you know, and I'm just, again, I'm putting some, I want to put some stuff out for public knowledge so that people may kind of understand what we have to deal with out here as commercial drivers. And you know, the fact that we're restricted to the right two lanes, this is a classic example right here. This truck, which I'm fixing to go around on the right if I can, most of the time they'll just sit there because they don't want to deal with the traffic coming on and off the highway. And I get that too, because it can be really challenging when you are dealing with, especially in high volume. Right through here, I might try to get some footage coming back today. Right through here, it's extremely high volume in the afternoons. And the trucks, you know, they, rather than fight the traffic coming on and off the highway, they will just stay in the middle lane because we're restricted from being in the left lane. You know, so it really puts us in a spot, I guess you could say, because we only really have this one lane that we can ride without having to deal with so much, you know, without it being so challenging, I guess. So anyway, that's just a little information. I'm gonna try to start putting out more information so that people can kind of see what we deal with out here. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment on this video. I'll be happy to. I've been doing this for, I got my commercial driver's license in 1993, so I've been at this for 29 years now. The Lord has really blessed me. I've never been in an accident, and you know, he gets all the credit for that. He's kept me safe. I've logged, I was figuring it up earlier this week, I've logged somewhere in the neighborhood of 2.5 million to 3 million miles in my career, safe driving miles. So I've really been blessed. Trucking's been good to me and my family. So, but anyway, more to come. Like I said, if you like my channel, please subscribe, hit that like button. It'll help me build this channel, because I think it's going to be good information for people to have that, you know, people may wonder about, and so hopefully that's what we'll get accomplished. Be blessed, and we'll see you on the next vid. Well, here we are, just north of Spartanburg, South Carolina, coming south. This area right here is known as, to me, the southbound battle zone, which both sides are equally challenging. Most mornings, as of late, I haven't had any trouble coming down through here, but this morning has proven to be true to the name, I guess. We're cruising along here about 4 miles an hour. I don't know if there's just a change in the construction. This first 30 miles of 85 South in South Carolina is a construction zone. They're widening, adding lanes. It is a major project. We were doing okay, but it's about 6:45 a.m. and either something's happened down here, or hopefully that's not the case. But I'll tell y'all, these are the reckonest people down here I've ever seen. I mean, I've drove all over this country, but down here around the Greenville area, no lie, I come down here at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. This is my second round down here this week, and it's only the second day. I mean, I came down here yesterday. But anyway, I see at least one accident every day, at least one. Most of the time, and I've got several of them documented, but most of the time I see 2 or 3. I mean, there's just too much going on in the vehicles anymore that draw people's attention away from what they should be doing, which is driving. When I started driving, it was 10 and 2. That was the positions on the steering wheel. 10 and 2. Now it's 10 and cell phone in hand. I mean, pretty much everybody that rides down the road has got their phone in their hand. I guess it's just a standard now. But I tell you, it's really created an uptick in traffic accidents. I wouldn't be afraid to say that 50% of all accidents now are a direct result of somebody messing with their telephone. And we're all guilty. I'm not saying I haven't done it, because I have. I try to keep it to a minimum. If I do pick up my phone, which I shouldn't ever pick it up driving, but if I do, it's generally to check something very quickly, whether I got a text message or a call. I don't usually, like, if I see what it is, if I get a text, whatever the case, I might check to see who it came from, and all I got to really do is tap the screen. I don't really have to take my eyes off the road per se. But well, you got habitual drivers that just, I mean, I've seen everything out here in the last few years. I mean, I've seen a guy come by me the other day, had his laptop mounted on the dash watching movies, going down the road. And I'm thinking, I guess it's legal. I don't know. I don't know the laws on that, but I'll just say, conservatively, 50% of all traffic accidents now are a direct result of cell phone use or some type of device. Anyway, we're gonna have some daylight here shortly, and I'm gonna try to capture some footage down here. And just for the record, I've got my GoPro mounted to my sun visor, so I don't have a device in my hand. Which in this truck there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 devices. I've got a rear view camera system. I've got a handheld electronic delivery device. I've got an e-log. I've got a dash cam. I've got my GoPro, and I got my cell phone. So there's all kind of stuff to divert your attention if you let it. But just my recommendation, if you're going to be driving, especially in high volume, just pay attention. Well, here's the culprits. One of my favorite parts of my job is dealing with road construction. And I said to myself when I left home this morning, boy, I hope they don't have the roads fixed yet. Alright, so I'm coming into one of the quarries. I've got 3 of these today. It's a pretty interesting setup they have. A lot of heavy equipment, that kind of thing. Very dangerous, can be. Falling rocks everywhere. A lot of times I have to weasel my way in up under some of these belt lines. I don't know if you can see them on the video or not, but they got a strange mentality inside of these places. It's backwards from the way you work on the road. Everybody stays to the right or to the left. Like being in London, there are places where you drive to the left, not to the right. But you come in enough of them, you kind of understand how they do it. But I have to kind of work my way down into the quarry itself. Each one of them's a little bit different, but you're talking about one more gigantic hole in the ground. These places are gigantic in comparison to how small we are. Kind of missed the whole road. That's alright. I know where I'm going. Back door here. This has got shot about halfway down to the pit. This is where I'm gonna start. I got 3 products for this company today. 2 of them deliver here at the shop. One of them's down, I think, down in the pit. Partially down in the pit. You might have to move that pickup truck right there. He saw me coming. Oh yeah. Here we go. Wait for it. So I'm gonna go down to the heavy duty gear lube tank, which they use at a crusher down here inside the pit in the quarry. You have to have an escort to go down here. These guys are really good to work with you when you show up at these places. This one's in Piedmont, South Carolina. But when I make this U-turn down here at the bottom of this, in the middle of this road, hopefully you'll be able to see the magnitude of the hole in the ground. Of course, I guess I can, since I ain't on the highway. I'll try to take the camera loose. You can see right straight ahead of us, that straight up rock wall. That's where they started drilling years ago. I'm not sure how long it takes to dig a hole this big, but I'm sure it's at least 100 years. You can kind of see right there is the edge of the pit. And they got a lot of, I mean, just an insane amount of belt systems that feed that rock up out of this hole. The pit trucks down there, the 50-ton pit trucks, they bring the large rocks right here where I'm going. And those pit trucks come up here and they dump those, just, you can see the size of the boulders they bring up right here along the edge of this road. They bring those big rocks up here to where that white building is in front of us, and they dump them in a crusher. Maybe one will do it. Well, I won't be filming, I gotta fill the tank, but they dump it, and then that belt over there going up the side of that rock wall carries the small rock up there, and then they sort it out in the bins up on the top. So it's pretty cool how the whole system works. Hey, there's a Johnny house, because I sure is got to pee. Alright, let me spin this. There's a pit truck coming up the hill now. But anyway, that's how this works. Hope to give me enough room to get. Alright. I hope that camera picks up that view. It's just pretty awesome. I'm at my second quarry for the day down here in Liberty, South Carolina. I filled one tank at the shop. Now we're going down. I'm assuming we're going to go down into the pit. Got my escort ahead of me, as you can see. Oh. I guess we're going to see just how good that GoPro stabilization is. This is probably, this one is in Liberty. I think I just said that, but this is probably the biggest quarry in South Carolina. So if you can see, it's a very large hole in the ground. The shop used to be down here. They done moved it way up on top of the mountain now. I was talking to this guy here that's driving this truck in front of me, and they, you know, Vulcan is extremely strict when it comes to safety. You have to have a hard hat on, you have to chalk your wheels every time you stop in here. You know, and they're adamant about it, meticulous on the safety. Yeah, this is the old shop down here. Pretty sure this tank that I'm doing is right here at this crusher. I think they want part of it right here and part of it in another tank. We're gonna find out. Anyway, what I was saying about the safety, they are extremely strict, which that's good. You need to be, I mean, people can die in here in a hurry. One of these big chunks of rock fall off and hit you. It'll be a bad day.